Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. And be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So once we connect with our other students, we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to give some basic information for yourself to develop a very clear spiritual foundation, especially with your practice. So when it comes to our life, most of time we work according to whatever our like and dislike. But the thing is, without knowingly what is life, how you can say you like it or not? So when it comes to anything in your life, just imagine when you follow your own like, dislike, if you don't know what it is, how you can come to a point and tell, I like it or I don't like it? So then overall, when it comes to our life and our day-to-day situations, it is important for yourself to basically understand the kind of like the very fundamental nature of life, because that understanding will give some kind of clarity. So through that clarity, you can build up your life. So without understanding what is life and how this life happens, and if you try to struggle with the life, it always going to become difficult. So that basically, this kind of teachings will help you to give that basic understanding. So when it comes to our life, the very beginning, the birth, so that is where that in this very life, that is where we can see the start point, our birth. So why your birth happens? You're not born just by mistake. You don't born because of somebody else, some other reasons. You born here because of a karma. And when it comes to that, that karma related to your previous life. And there is a sutra called Nava Purana Kamma Sutra. So when it comes to karma, that karma means here our intention, our actions, and according to that action, whatever the result we gain. There are two kinds of karmas we create. So one is called Purana karma. This means old one. What are the old karma? So it's come kind of like your DNA. And other one is like your history. So other one kind of like when you are in the mother's womb, that you gain this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, this structure. So it come as a result of karma, because in this, you didn't do anything in this world yet, but still you gain this all the physical foundation inside the mother's womb. So that all, especially as you know, the brain, the heart, that all these inside organs, eyes, and this everything already developed inside the mother's womb. So it happened as a result of your previous karma. And then from that point to today, when you're born to this world, from that point, out of your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, following your intention, you start to develop new karma. So then in this very moment, so far, in this very moment, if you look from this point to your backward, that whatever you have done yesterday, last week, last year, 10 years back, 20 years back, that everything is the result of today as who you are. This eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, that whatever the life we experience is the result of our past. But at the same time, from this point, we are capable to develop new karma, we can have a new intention. We can have new kind of actions for the next moment. So if you are capable to take a very conscious decision, and then you can develop it. So that is Nava karma, new karma. So those are the two ways, old karma and the new karma, and giving you kind of strength to move forward. So the very important thing you have to understand that you are so capable to do many things today, and you already have an identity, and you have some kind of capabilities, and you have the gender and the abilities, and at the same time, from the culture, society, family, there are certain validations that you have. So that all together is who you are today. But the thing is, you have to understand, in this body, underneath, there are a lot of things still in kind of like a sleeping mood. It not activated yet. but it is there. That is the one power of the karma. So it is important for you to understand that. And because the reason is that whatever your next action can ignite that sleeping karma. So when it comes to the DNA, the same. There are some kind of DNAs in you. There are some kind of energy in you. It's kind of like a dark energy. It's in sleeping mode. Just as imagine cancer, that we don't know inside our body. But maybe through our DNA or maybe through our culture, tradition, from our past experience, something we have done. So now it is there, but it is not yet activated. There are many other diseases sometimes. And maybe it's kind of like a new one can come. And as you know, every day they find out some kind of very brand new kind of like disease. And it is very rare. And sometimes after millions people, some people experience it. So maybe how you know that inside you, there is something in sleeping mood. And tomorrow it's going to activate. Tomorrow going to wake up and maybe kind of like, just imagine, you have a kind of like a sleep, that the kind of like a cancer cell. It's in sleeping mood. And then maybe tomorrow it wake up and tell, oh, I was sleeping. I have to activate now. And then you start to run around your body and overtake organs. Then what will happen? So like that, through our past, eons by eons, there's intention, and maybe in the previous lives, we had some kind of intention to do something, and we never recognize it yet. And so maybe tomorrow, how you know that you're going to recognize it? Because maybe if it is so powerful, maybe if you once you recognize that, you start to work for it. Maybe you have a deeper anger towards somebody, and maybe you died with that anger holding, I'm going to get revenge, go behind this person. And maybe now you are next to that person, maybe you are a good friend. But the karma still didn't activate yet. It's sleeping. And maybe tomorrow it wake up and recognize where I came for this reason, where this guy, oh, next to me, my friend. And then what will happen? It's going to go for that. So like that, you have to remember that is the karma is the foundation of your existence. You have to understand that. It doesn't matter you like or not. It doesn't matter you believe it or not. It doesn't matter you accept it or not. And that karma means it's not something from outside. It is just your own behavior, your own intention brought you to this point. So then the very first thing that you have to remember, taking the fully responsibility to your life. That is the important part. If something happens, and if you go through the pain or the unsatisfaction or the disappointment, sadness, worry, so the very first level you have to remember, take that responsibility. Don't think it's because of other person. It's you. There are some kind of insight, there are some behavior in you, and that activate. For that activation, maybe from the outside, we get some help. But that doesn't mean the very core reason is that outside. No, that it is inside you. You are the one who carrying this inner nature. So once you take that fully responsibility, One thing is, you have to remember, you have to be very careful when you start to do any bodily, verbally, mentally action tomorrow, the very next moment. Why? Because whatever the actions you do maybe can ignite that sleeping dark energy or unprofitable skills or maybe unwholesome action. So that is where you always have to merge with the, hold with the good things. Because when it comes to loving kindness, compassion, and the wisdom, if you hold it to that things, it never going to take you to some kind of unwholesome action. So then when you're ready to do any action tomorrow, the first thing you have to look into yourself and see deeper in your intention, not the outcome. Don't go with this outside outcome, because the face value not going to responsible for us end of the day. Intention going to become responsible. So then go into inside and see, is it related to the greed, hatred, or the delusion? If it is so, minimize. Maybe you can't suddenly withdraw from the action because maybe it come from the past, or maybe you are already there for that. But in that very moment, sometimes you can change it. Because sometimes already you release the arrow and you can't go behind it and change the target now. You already set up for tomorrow. So it is there already. Because once you release the arrow, just praying, wishing, hoping, dreaming, it's not going to change the target. So like that already in your life, you already, with your intention, already release some kind of arrows. It already go towards certain targets. So don't worry about it. And the very first thing, accept it. And the very next thing in the tomorrow, remember yourself. When you're ready to do action, start to go backward and look at your intention. Be careful about it. It's about you, because it's going to ignite deeper inside this karma. It can be good or it can be bad. It doesn't have any choice when it comes to. It's kind of like a causation, cause and effect is the reason for the karma. It's not someone else, the superpower or the decision. It's not like that. It's like the ground. It's like the earth. If you put a certain seed, if the seed is good, and then it will grow in that ground. So whatever it is, it will grow. If you put a apple tree, it will grow as an apple tree. If you put a mango tree, it will grow as a mango tree. So the earth doesn't have power to change it, the mango to apple. So whatever you put there, it grows. So like that in your life, whatever intention, it's going to take you forward. So if you have a kind of like a unskillful or unprofitable skill, that's mean related to greed, hatred, and the delusion, it's going to take you that way. And if you have a profitable skill, intention, loving kindness, generosity, compassion, wisdom, and then it's going to take you that way. So this basic principle, if you understand that, then you recognize this power of choice. Still that you have, even though you have some kind of previous karma, you have to remember that your genes, your DNA, your history, your culture even though it is your history, it is not your destiny. It is not your tomorrow. Even though it brought you here, tomorrow going to depend on your choice. That is what you have to know. That basic principle will change your life. But most of the time we trap in our own habitual patterns, believing, following system, and again and again, we keep repeating it. And when we keep repeating that, we'll get the result according to that. Another biggest mistake is the conformity. So we always like to follow whatever the other people do. And we try to sympathize, empathize, and we try to go with the other's opinion. But maybe it doesn't work for you. So then you have to remember yourself. Be very clear with your inside. And little by little, withdraw the struggle from outside and be very clear with this inside and look into your intention and make it sharp, make it clear little by little, and merge with the profitable things. And then by the time you will see the outside going to change. So otherwise, if you don't change that your inside behavior, it's going to keep go forward, repeating the same thing again and again and again and again. So the important thing then, we don't know about tomorrow. We don't know about next year. We don't know about next life. But one thing you have to remember, it all going to depend on not by mistake, not by chance, not by luck. It all going to depend on your intention. So even though there are many things around us, we have to depend on many things, but still there is something in you, that inner clarity, that intention, you are responsible for that. You have freedom for that. In that intention, it's kind of like when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, we name it as intention, but if I make it more little bit soft, you may very clearly understand that. In the Western world, it called it kind of like imagination. So that your imagination, there is no limit for that. Maybe you go through many things, maybe you have many difficulties, you have poverty, you have problems, you have difficulties to pay the bills, you have kind of like a situation to deal with the people or the environment or the outside world. Maybe you have health issues, and maybe you are in a kind of like a middle of the hell, but still you have the power of imagination. No one can take it. Just imagine. No one can take it. That is the beautiful thing that you have in you. So then if you always use that imagination, or the behind that imagination, remember the very main thing, our topic is the intention. So that intention is dark. You are responsible to ignite that all the dark things. So whatever that waiting for you tomorrow, if any unprofitable things, if you don't bring the intention to connect it to that, it's not going to activate. It's not going to ignite. So it's kind of like, trigger the bullet. It doesn't matter the bullet inside the gun. It's not going to kill anybody. You know? It can't itself activate. You have to, pull the trigger. That intention, that's the power of intention. So maybe head to toes in you, maybe there are so many billion years old historical disease, or maybe many other difficulties, or maybe good things. All this, everything is kind of like a coil inside you there. So, but it trigger tomorrow, whatever the action you perform. So then know that. Take fully responsibility. And don't depend on the history. And always look into newness. And that is where you need the open mind. So that is what bring the detachment from this, all the previous things. Being open. Open mind will help you to reduce the power of habit. And another way we call you can experience the newness. It's moment by moment, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. Break down this habitual pattern and start to develop some new things in you. So if you look at that human history, we all are caught up in this imagination, generations to generation. That's what another way we call Maya. It is very difficult as human beings that we have opportunity to have a direct perception with things. We always experience things through something. We are not experienced directly things. So then most of the time our imagination governs this everything, but that imagination we miss to recognize the intention. So if you go beyond that and if you clear your intention, then your imagination going to become more clear to the reality. So, but the thing is, without the intention, without seeing the intention, if you caught up only just imagination, it's going to become the Maya. So in between the Maya and the light, because when the wisdom arises, it's called light arose. Aloko udapadi. So otherwise, the Maya, the darkness, the Maya exists in the darkness. So your imagination can take you to darkness, your imagination can take you to light. So where the shift can happen, when you see your intention and out of that intention, when you develop your imagination, it takes you to light. But if you don't see the intention and if you just caught up on the imagination, it takes you to Maya. So this both in the human history from generations to generations we experience. So today also the same. So this anything can become a Maya for you. This anything can become an illusion for you if you don't see the intention behind your experience. But at the same time, this everything can become a part of your liberation. This everything can become part of your enlightenment. This everything can become part of your transformation when you see the intention behind your experience. So then be very clear about it. And no one can do it for you. You are fully responsible. And then while you experience it, give your fully attention to that. And rather than experiencing a lot of things, start with something very little and bring your fully attention to very simple things. So that is where we take our breathing as a primary mental object. Make it very simple. But you put your fully attention, 100%, be with it, just for a moment, 1 millisecond. And that 1 millisecond develop as a continuation, again and again and again and again, with the intention to see the reality. So in that way, rather than go with your previous past repetition of the karma, you start to build up a new method, being in the present moment with the awareness, with the recognition. In that very moment, all your previous karma start to neutralize or deactivate. And that is where you develop very clear path for yourself, for your tomorrow. And that path, now you build up with the very clear clarity, being in the present moment, and that path, because in that present moment, you are not building up the greed, hatred, and the delusion. So it's kind of like you develop a very clear, clean, strong, solid foundation, no cracks there. And it gives the peace, it gives the confidence, and it gives the total satisfaction. And it will take you out of the fear. It will take you out of the anxiety, depression, like that things. It will take you to the moment, just being yourself in the moment, take the completion, total satisfaction. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. So when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. Your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it. with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Tavata chamni sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Maya Dhamma Nudhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakaya Vahang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamuncatu. Bless.